Yo, 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 what up? This is Scoozy, and I'm back with a brand new episode of Primefools. So, last episode was weird in the sense that it was not so much gameplay from this server, it was kind of a tutorial to condense everything that I've done in like the first 6 hours that I played down into something a little more manageable for you to watch, and so that you can also become super overpowered like we are now if you so wanted to, if you're playing at home, following along, that kind of thing. But today we are definitely going to stay on the Primefools server, and we're not going to really do anything technical. I have done a little bit over here. I've got my Tinker Smeltery all set up, my workstation, and then I also have my Applied Energistics storage system here. So we got all of our inventory stored down here on these disks. Basically, I'm only using 4 1Ks right now, and I have 8K in storage remaining that I can also fill up. So we should be set here for a while. I've got my SAG mill set up. My 2 survival generators are powering my capacitor bank, which is still charging. We got like 2 million RF out of a potential 7,000, so we should have lots of power when that's done. I've also got my slice and splice, my alloy smelter, and this inscriber is a very key component for dealing with applied energistics. You're going to want to make sure you have one of those, because you use it to build just about everything. Up top there is my charger, and that's used for charging Certus quartz, because that stuff is fairly rare to find out in the environment. So when you find the first little bit, what you want to do is set it aside so you can make one of these, and then you can charge the regular Certus quartz, which is not nearly as rare. Yeah, and then over here we have the what is this? It's like a growth accelerator for the seeds. So you throw the seeds down in there, the applied energistic seeds, and they mature in minutes instead of half a day. So that's a pretty good setup that you're going to want to get going. And the only other thing we have over here is underneath we have our water mill set up and our chunk loader, and that's so that we can use our angel ring, and also we're using grid power to have these speed upgrades in our survival generators. So that is eating up 8 grid power, and my angel ring is 32. So yeah, we are generating 64 right now, and we should have enough grid power for a while. So that is what I've been up to on this server so far. Yeah, that's about it. Now this is actually not going to be my base. This here is going to be my workstation. I find whenever I start a new series, you usually start throwing danger chests and your crafting area and everything right down where you want to build, and then it ends up getting in the way and you have to move stuff sometimes, and just gets to be a big pain in the butt. So this right here can stay like this, and the base is going to be over here on this like really cool mountain that's overlooking the bay, and on this side it has a view of the cherry blossom grove, and over here it has a view of this awesome, they call it a rainforest, but to me it looks like, oh, no, here we are, seasonal forest. Yes, that makes more sense, seasonal forest. So rainforest must be a little border like right in between. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Those are both really nice things to be looking at from the base. But we are going to build up here in the top. And the idea that I have for the base is kind of cool. It's a little different for me. I want to build a steampunk themed base. So I kind of want to build like a little steampunk town or village up here in the top of the mountain, and have like a docking area for the airships, the smaller ones maybe, and then I think I want to have like out here above this water more of a docking area for extremely large airships, and then I might build like a big giant airship floating up in the air here. So I think it's going to be really neat. I'm kind of excited to get in there and mix the kind of Victorian style along with the mechanical aspects of the airships and whatnot. So it's going to be things like cobblestone mixed with metal, and that kind of is going to sound, I don't know, it sounds kind of cool to me. And I'm also going to probably use quite a bit of chisel and bits in this series, because I will want to be making like little gears and stuff like that, and chains to hang off the ships, and Chisel and Bits is really the mod that allows you to do that. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of an overview of what I'm going to try to do this season. I may stay a little bit away from the technical side, unless people really want to see how I do that. But for the most part, yeah, I want to focus on the building. So yeah, I'm really excited. And at the moment now, I've spent most of my time, like I said, rushing to get to the point where I have creative flight and a storage system set up. I haven't done a whole ton of resource gathering, so I may need to do some of that so that I can make maybe like some factory blocks and whatnot to use up in here. And at some point in the near future, I will be making a mob farm, because this is Foolcraft. And let's face it, if you do not have a mob farm, you're missing out on a very good source of income for resources. So we will be setting one of those up maybe in like episode 3 or 4. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's where we stand right now. So I'm gonna do maybe like a few hours of resource collecting, and then when it's time, I'll come back and we'll start building. Hooray! Back in a second. Okay, so it is several days later for me now, and that's the way modern Minecraft can go. Sometimes you'll have a plan, and then you'll get distracted, and then you'll be led down a rabbit hole of resource gathering and crafting, and before you know it, you're way off track. So yeah, I was out looking for some different resources to use in the build, and I was also just looking at cows, as you do in this mod pack, and I found an infinity cow, so I brought it home, and I wanted to make something, but you can't make ingots or blocks out of liquid infinity. It seems to have been disabled in the pack. I don't know why. It seems foolish. So you can still use it in like Tinker's things, but yeah, you can't make any of the cool like infinity armor stuff by finding a cow, which is a little weird. I don't know. I might talk to the guys and see if they want to re-enable it for this server, because like seriously, why are we drawing a line there? Why is that the point when we decide, no, that's too overpowered? I think it's kind of silly, but we'll see what the other guys think, and maybe next episode we'll be building some infinity gear. But I did want to show you this laser I made because it is so cool. Check it out. Boom. So it's pretty sweet. It will not fire unless you're pointing at a target, so you can fly around with the like attack the right trigger pulled, and just as soon as, boom. Oh, I just leveled up. So yeah, this thing's pretty sweet. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. I can like link it to a chest and send mob drops home. I haven't done that yet, but I should. Brown magic, I believe. I can't remember exactly what that does. No, don't remember. Apocalypse is like a wither effect. Aquadynamic, it can shoot underwater. Cold-blooded, I don't know. And then Sharper and Reinforced 3 I've put on there to increase the attack damage and the durability. And this thing, you charge it. So right now, where's it at? I'm blind. You're probably looking right at it, but somewhere here, it has the power that it is currently. That's very weird. I can't seem to see it. You're probably looking right at it and laughing at me. But yeah, the thing that was tricky about that is to make this infinity laser, you need a manual and battery. So I went to the Tinker stencil table, and they do have a pattern for the battery. So I made that, and then I tried to go about making it the same way you would anything else in Tinker's, but you can't. So if you're having that problem, just know that you have to use blaze rods. That's what you have to use with the stencil to make a battery, and then you can put that in your casting table and pour a battery cast of that, and then you can fill that with manulin to make the manulin battery. And it also needed, where is it? I think it was prismarine for one of the parts, and so I had to go out and find a guardian temple, and that's tricky in this pack because there's not a whole lot of deep ocean. It seems to be mostly just regular ocean. So yeah, that's my blurb about the Infinity Laser. Definitely make one. They are really sweet, and once you level up the damage a bit, you can one or two shot most mobs, and even if you just hit them and then go away, they're taking wither damage. So yeah, it's a pretty sweet weapon. So anyways, back to where we were for you seconds ago and for me days ago. We're talking about a block palette. So I'm thinking to keep it kind of Victorian, I want to do some cobblestone streets. But I do like the look of the brick, so I might use the brick mostly, and then just come through and yeah, like throw in some different variations here and there. That is a regular cobblestone, yeah, like, you know, that kind of stuff. Just here and there to add some variation to it, but keeping it mostly in this gray stone palette. And then I like this kind of scaffold block I'm going to use as like a drain for the streets, so anything that hits the streets would wash off this edge here, and then the whole thing is supported by these thicker rusty metal kind of factory block. And then for supporting it, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might have supports that go down into the ground, but I thought it might also be cool to kind of have like chains coming up from the corner attached to like stationary like motors almost, that are as if it's a constant like propeller just flying and holding the corner of this structure up. And this is going to be like the main dock for this like little village. This would be where the supply airships would come in and stuff like that, and drop off their goods. So we will have all kinds of different crates and things out here and different piles and stuff. I might make like a crane or something that we would use to offload the airships that are delivering pallets. And I want to use maybe, I'm not so sure about this one. This is a little too busy. These might be cool. Probably some more things like this. And these for sure, and this for sure. I would also like to put like flames on top of this. And I have to be a little careful because fire tick is not turned off on this server, so fire will spread. So I have to be careful what I do with that. But this kind of looks like the top of like a Zippo lighter to me, so I think they'd be really cool for like flames coming out of the top of them and that kind of thing. And I also like this for around the bottom of the buildings, as if it's like a reinforced plate that the buildings are set on, separate from the streets. And I think the color goes really well together between these two blocks. I mean, there is a bit of contrast and a little more blue in here than in this stone, but I like that. And it goes really well with this metal and the frame of this, and even, yeah, with this. So I think this is going to be something that we use a lot of. As for the actual structures, Victorian buildings were often quite light colored, despite the fact that they were filthy and showed that dirt. So I might use sandstone. It's that right kind of off-white color that I think will look really good. For foundations, I'm not sure if because I don't want to use more gray, so I might use like a basalt in like a cobblestone or brick. Probably not that one, but like these two perhaps. You know, again, because Victorian era was dirty and steampunk would be extra dirty, so these would look good at street level. And then kind of a dirty white wall color, and then dark trim. So I might do mahogany here and there, and also I like the amaranth. It's like a really dark purple, and I have access to lots of those. It's the trees that grow like kind of all around me here. So then you have like a bit of variation between different buildings. And for roofs, I might work in these like prismarine and crag rock. I have the ability to chisel these to make different patterns, and I think, where is it? Right. Oh, that one's pretty good, but there should be. Does this really not have them? Oh yeah, I just passed it. Is there? Yeah, these ones here. For anybody who doesn't know, if you're chiseling through blocks and you need to go back, if you shift left click, you can reverse order. So if you just pass one, you can go back without having to go all the way through. So these would make like pretty good roof tiles, I think. And I can't make any stairs out of these, but this pack does have chisel and bits, so I could modify the roof tiles that way. Or maybe I'll go with something completely different. I don't know. But I do like the blue, and I wish this crag rock was chiselable. That's get on that, chisel mod. Crag rock and like a bunch of the other stones, like quarried stone is a really nice color here, but you can't chisel it. So yeah, make these mods more compatible. Get on that. That's something you need to do. So yeah, this is going to be our block palette. So I might take a bit of time now and decide where I'm going to put some buildings, lay it out a bit, and then we'll come back and talk about that. And I'll also give you a little bit of an idea of what we're going to do next episode, because I think we're going to go back and do something a little more technical. And I know I said this series is going to be mostly building, and it will be, but early game, you definitely need to get your technical hat out, put it on, and build yourself a good infrastructure, which I already have down here. But I do want to make maybe like just a very simple mob farm. And I also have, let's see here. Yeah, I got a bunch of cows, like Elementium, Solarium, Emerald, Destabilized Redstone, Gold, Infinity, Mana Steel, Cobalt, Pig Iron, you know, basically just a whole bunch of really cool cows. And a lot of these I would like to have set up in a system that is automatically harvesting the fluids and putting them in the appropriate spots. So that and a mob farm are two technical jobs that we will have coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about that, and I'm going to lay out some stuff here for our little village, our steampunk town. And I'm surprised there's not more mobs out. I kind of wanted to blast some with my laser gun. There's got to be some around. There's always skeletons shoot me when I don't want them to be. Oh, there's a witch. Done. See, it's pretty powerful. And it's only at Adept, so there's still a couple more levels, a couple more modifiers I'm going to be able to put on there. I need 2 more modifiers to make it indestructible or unbreakable. And then I'm going to put everything else into damage because it already shoots pretty fast and its range is good. So yeah, Infinity Laser for the win. By the way, if anybody, any of the other primers on the server would like one of these, please don't hesitate to let me know. I think I have the materials to make many more of these without issue. So yeah, if you want one of these and you're on this server, shoot me a message. Yeah, be back in a second once I have done some more stuff and stop just messing around. Okay, so I think this is what I'm going to start with. And like I said, this is just a small little like outpost, like a small little village. So I'm thinking I'll have like a large building here, a smaller one here, and then like a medium-sized one here. And then up front here will be like the dock area with like crates and stuff like that. I might make some pallets. And in this corner here, I'm going to put the crane that would offload from the airships onto the dock, that kind of thing. And I'm hoping this will work. This is probably the one I'll do last, and the reason is I kind of want to have these come up and then expand out as they get taller. So like the upper floor maybe like 2 or 3 blocks wider than the floor below, and that's kind of a thing that I've seen a lot in steampunk, these kind of like architecturally unsound almost structures, and I think that's kind of like a Victoria era thing where you don't have any more space on the level, so you can only go up, and so you expand out as you go up. It's kind of like a reverse pyramid style, and so these two may be too close together for me to do that. Actually, probably almost certainly. So, depending on how I shape this building, this one may have to come back this way. And then there's always room, of course, to remove these trees and expand the platform out. Don't throw potions at me. You little wither cat. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm working with here. And I think the building for these is going to be a fairly slow process. And it might be a little boring to watch, so what I'm probably going to do is I will pick away at this in between this episode and next. And so at the beginning of next episode, I'll do an update of where we are with the building, and then we won't work on this. We'll work on, like, say, a mob farm, something that we can do together fairly easily, and then I can come back and tinker away at this in between episodes and kind of, because I want to kind of really I don't know, work on the details on these builds. Like, I want to get down on the chisel and bits level, make like nice windows and trim around all the windows, that kind of stuff, like single block trims or 2 block trims with the dark mahogany, or the, you know, amaranth, that kind of thing. And I just really want to take my time on them, so I'm going to start small with just a few buildings and a crane, and then work on it over time. And while I'm doing this, like I said, we'll work on a few more technical projects, and then together, maybe after this is done, we'll go and we'll build like an airship, like right here, as if it's coming into the dock with new supplies or something like that. And I think that'll be really cool. So for now, that's going to be the plan for my base area. So come on back next episode to see the beginnings of our structures. And also, as promised, I will show you how to make a mob farm. And it'll be a very easy mob farm because, well, why wouldn't it be? Why would you make it difficult if you don't have to, right? So that's what I'm going to work on. Just a simple little thing to start earning resources passively for us while we do work. And yeah, I hope that you will come back and check that out because I think it'll be a lot of fun and very informative. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode and you enjoy my flappy wings and my piston top hat. And if you did, be sure to go down and thumb wrestle that like button to show your support. And also thumbs up for Infinity laser guns and their cool rainbow. Oh yeah, so cool. Anyways, yeah, go check out the other Primers videos because I know they're doing some really cool stuff. In fact, I think Super Turtle just put out a video where he makes a blaze farm, so go and check that out, and maybe you'll learn something new. Yeah. Until next time, this is Scoozy, and I'm saying peace!